Hey guys, it's S600 PTZ here, bringing you a new video. So the great folks over at Soliom, hope I pronounced that correctly, sent me over a new Wi-Fi PTZ solar-powered camera. So it sounds pretty awesome. You don't have to have basically any wires running to it at all. It will connect to your network wirelessly. It's powered via the solar panel. So that's pretty much it. You just mount it outside wherever you want it to go, and you're good to go. It has night vision, two-way audio. This thing sounds pretty awesome. Now, as it stands right now, at least for me, the downside is there's no RTSP support, and it's completely closed source, whereas it only uses an Android app or an iPhone app to view it. So, I mean, if you had a lot of Soliom cameras, or if all of your cameras were made by them and you could use their app for everything, I think it would work fairly well. But having only the one camera makes it a little disappointing for me, because I want to be able to bring everything into Home Assistant and set up alerts and send images based on notifications or whatever. And of course, this will not work for that. As you can see on the website, they sell it for about $170. It's a fairly decent price range for a 1080p PTZ camera. It does about 320 degrees all the way around, so it won't cover anything directly behind it, but it still gets a pretty decent range. So let's check it out. So it's roughly about the same price on Amazon as well. As you can see, it's about $160 here to pick up the camera. So again, if you have other Soliom cameras, this might be worth checking out. I'm not saying don't check it out, just letting you know ahead of time that it's going to be completely controllable only by the app itself. There's no Windows, Mac, or Linux app, as well as there's no way to access it via a browser either. So it's kind of disappointing. So let's do a quick run through of everything we're going to cover in this video. So of course, for starters, we're going to unbox the device. Once we do that, we'll complete some prerequisites that need to be done in order for this to get set up correctly. After that, we're going to install the camera. Once the camera is installed, then we're going to configure it in the app. And lastly, we're just going to kind of see it in action. So let's get started. Alright, so here is the box. As you can see, it's a PTZ camera with a little solar panel on top of it. Let's open this bad boy up. Looks like it's got some instructions here. Basically, a mounting bracket and various things you need to know in order to get it added into the app itself. There's the solar panel. Actually, kind of heavy. I was kind of surprised at how heavy it actually was. See, we got screws and anchors if needed. And of course, there's the meat of the camera itself. Two antennas for the Wi-Fi. Solar panel looks like it mounts on top, and then of course you have to connect the solar panel via this cable here. Also comes with a USB cable, micro USB, so we'll have to figure out what that's for. But that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright, so as you can see here, as part of the prerequisites, we need to charge the solar panel for the first time. And it says it takes about 6 to 8 hours to charge. So I guess while you're waiting for it to charge, you should probably go ahead and configure your micro SD card in the back here. The little door here, and under that is the reset button, as well as a slot for your micro SD card. It does not come with one, so you'll have to pick up your own. I think the largest size that it will support is 64 gigs, so make sure you keep that in mind. Alright, so for the app, we're looking for Soliom Plus. This little green one there, we'll go ahead and add that. And then of course your next step will be to create a cloud account on the app itself. So I'm not going to walk through that here, but basically follow the steps and create your account. Alright, so let's do kind of a run through of what I'm doing as far as installing this camera. So this is kind of my backyard's makeshift patio. When we bought this house, they had a back patio cover, basically just sheet metal on top of the wood here. Nothing fancy. We haven't replaced it yet, but thought this was a great place to add this camera, and we'll be able to kind of view the backyard, check on the dogs when we want and whatnot. So we'll see how this works. I'm not going to lie to you, this thing was a pain in the butt to install. The holes that you mount this camera to are very hard to get to with a drill, unless you have a really long adapter on the drill. And the screws that came with it are kind of a soft metal, so they stripped very easily. Ended up moving to some more wood screws, for at least for my setup, to get them mounted outside there. So you may want to keep that in mind when you're installing this. You definitely want to get the holes drilled and make it as easy as possible, because like I said, it is really a pain to access those screw holes. But I've got it mounted here, got the solar panel tightened on top, got the wire connected all up. Another thing I don't necessarily like about this camera is the way they handle the wire that connects the solar panel and the camera. I really feel like they should have fed that cable through the mount itself, instead of having this cord that just kind of hangs out along the outside of the camera. There's not a really good way to move it around. I think I'm going to end up zip tying it kind of up there to the top just to kind of keep it out of the way, but did not necessarily like the design for that. But nonetheless, it's mounted, it's powered on. In fact, when you power it on, it kind of starts talking to you, telling it's ready for pairing mode and everything. So then you're ready to get it added into the app. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright, so of course once you plug in the cable, as you can see up here, there's a little button above the cable, and that's where you turn it on. And as soon as you turn it on, it'll kind of start talking to you and letting you know that it is in pairing mode. And then you're ready to go into the app and get it added into the app. So you'll kind of follow the steps here. You're going to put in your wireless credentials to get it on your wireless network. And then you're going to use the camera itself to scan this QR code that comes up on your phone. And that's kind of the final step in getting the camera synced with the app itself. Once you do that, then you're pretty much done and get it added into the app. Let's go ahead and move on to the last step, and we're going to see it in action. Alright, so here's the camera in the app. I called it Backyard. As you can see, my messy back porch there with all the chairs and stuff on it. It's actually a fairly clear picture though, it's pretty decent. You got the microphone there to be able to do the two-way audio. There's also the sound over there on the side to be able to listen to what's going on outside. You have the option to record video if you want, as well as take snapshots. Those will be saved into the camera roll on your phone. You also have the option to choose HD or SD at the top. I think by default it's set to SD, but you can change it to HD to get a little better quality video or picture image. But as you can see, it turns all the way around. You get pretty much all of my backyard here. It'll even go up and down fairly well as well, so that's pretty much it. Again, I like the idea and concept of the camera, but really wish it supported RTSP so that I could get it added into the same setup with all my other cameras. If they get that going, this thing will be awesome. Let's do a quick run through of everything we covered in this video. So of course we started out by unboxing the device. Once we did that, we completed prerequisites that were needed to get it set up and ready to be installed. Once we did that, we installed the camera. After that, we configured it in the app. And then of course, lastly, I showed you what that looks like in action. So if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and check out Soliom's website. I'll have the link in the description below. You can see what other cameras they have for sale, what else they offer. Again, keep in mind, it's completely closed source. You'll only be able to control their cameras with the app itself, either on iPhone or Android. There is no way to control it from the computer, and of course, no RTSP stream. As always, I wanted to thank everybody for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee link. Every little bit helps. If you haven't had a chance, check out my Teespring page for all your BHA Burns home automation merchandise. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comments below. As always, if there are any videos out there that you would like to see that I don't already have out there, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll see if I can't get something put together for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around. Thanks.